Is there something nice for Mr. KH? Ooh. What is this? Pretty. Very peculiar. I wonder what this is. Maybe it's the new GameCube I've been hearing about. Let's find out. Such a funny looking console. How do you plug it in? Must be wireless. Ooh. How do you make it work? Come on, damn it! So strange. Vagabond!
Not quite. The box. You opened it. We came.
Huh? This thing? I think it's some sort of puzzle, but I can't figure it out. Hey! Maybe you can help a brother out.
Oh no. The Cube of Torment. That is too much agony, even for hell.
Dude, what if I can't solve it?
This task was appointed to you, KH of the Shakakapow.
Oh.
No tears, please. It is a waste of a good suffering. If you do not find a way, the cube will melt your brain apart.
Uh-oh. Gotta figure it out. Come on, KH. Cheerio.
Cheers.
I like this. What is this? Is this ninja coffee? Or is it Halloween coffee?
Or maybe it's Shakakapow coffee.
Shakakapow? Oh my god.
Not quite.
All right. So, welcome back, guys. We are doing another episode where we talk about movies. And I am joined here again by Pål-Christian.
Hi there.
So, Paul, what are we... Ooh, nice. Is that the new GameCube or is it a Rubik's Cube?
Not quite.
Not quite. Okay. So, tell us, tell our watchers, viewers, our people, what we're doing today.
Well, as you see in front of us, we have the Lament configuration box from the movie franchise Hellraiser. After something like 10 movies, they finally decided to reboot or reimagine the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So we're here to talk about the new
Hellraiser.
Mm-hmm.
Hellraiser 2022.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned, or as we talked about, like, there's nothing in the movie that says that it cannot be a movie in this universe that already exists. So you can view it, in my opinion, you can view it either as as some sort of reimagining, or it could just as well have been Hellraiser 11 or 12 or whichever.
Yeah, so it's like a soft reboot. It's a new story, but it could easily fit into the
lore.
Absolutely.
And the movies are all also based on a book by Clive Barker named The Hellbound Heart. So it's a movie based on a movie franchise, or like a reimagining of a movie franchise based on a book.
Yeah, that's right. And so it's a reimagining. It doesn't go back and retell the story from the first movie or the book. It's a new story.
New characters. Yeah. So, the story. Let's start with the story. Tell us about the story.
Yeah, okay. So the story's the story begins with this rich guy who sends his lawyer to get the hold of this box.
Careful now.
And yeah, so she gets hold of this box and she brings it back to him, and this guy arranges like wild parties where they lure people in to try to help him solve the
puzzle
box.
Yeah. And then we jump a little bit.
I think it's 6 years.
6 years in 6 years into the future.
Yeah.
And then we meet our main character, Riley. And she's a recovering drug addict.
She lives with her brother, who tries to help her recover, but he can be a
little bit controlling.
A little bit over-controlling, yeah.
Yeah. So they share an apartment. He's helping her get back on her feet. And then she meets this guy she starts to date.
Yeah. This guy named Trevor.
Yeah, she's dating a guy named Trevor. They met in some sort of rehab, I think.
Yeah, recovery
program. Yeah, and this is kind of where things start.
Yeah, so being
maybe we should give a spoiler warning before we continue.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't watched the movie, this is your spoiler warning. From now on, we will just
yeah, uncontrollably.
Yes.
All right. So, being a recovering addict, she has financial problems. So this boyfriend of her, Trevor, he knows about this storage, which is almost empty except from this little box. And he convinced her to help her steal the box.
Yeah, he convinces her to help him steal the box.
Yeah. Or they don't know. They don't exactly know what they will find. But
yeah. She thought it might be money when they would open it, right? Yeah.
Or at least something they could use to get
money. Yeah. And then from there, she takes the box.
She finds the box.
Shit gets real.
Shit gets real. So she starts trying to figure out how to open the puzzle.
She opens the first configuration kind of by accident when she's high, doesn't she?
Yeah. And this brings out the Cenobites.
Yeah, I think we don't need to say too much more about that.
No, not. Yeah, from there on, that's where they start collecting souls and shit. Yeah.
And interesting. One of the interesting things with the story is that a lot of the story is focused around the box. The box gets a lot more lore and
a lot more lore and a lot more explanation than it usually does in the old movies.
And it can do more. No, it was we've never heard of 6 configurations before.
No, in the old movie, it's just open, twist, and put back.
Yeah, open and close.
Mm.
So now the box has 6
configuration. So it's more names. Like in the old movies, they just called it the Lament, but it each side has, or each configuration has a different name. There's the Lazarus configuration,
Leviathan,
the Leviathan
last one. Yeah, and you need 1 soul for each configuration.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things that drives the movie and the story, is that people are getting sacrificed or killed off for the box to continue to the next configuration.
And when you have opened all 6 configurations, the one standing with the box
gets a wish.
Gets an audience with God.
Yes, with the god of the Cenobites. So yeah, that's more or less the story, and let's
without giving
too much away. Let's talk about the Cenobites. Since we're talking about the box, let's just
all right. So the lead Cenobite is played by Jamie Clayton. She's the new Pinhead. She is the new Pinhead, not he.
That probably, like, a lot of people who not familiar with the lore might get upset by that, but in the books, as far as we know, it was never specified
if it's a man or a woman, so
it doesn't really matter.
No.
What did you think of the new Pinhead, or the Hell Priest?
Yeah, I think she played a really good Hell Priest. Being a fan of the old franchise, I still prefer Doug Bradley.
Yeah, you cannot surpass such an iconic presentation of the role as Doug Bradley did. No. It's like
the new Freddy Krueger and the remake. It's not the same. She does a good job.
And what is really cool about this version is that it doesn't try to copy Doug Bradley's version. It's its own thing.
This is where you have leather versus skin.
Yes. Leather.
So in the old movies, they had like this leather, black leather suits.
Here it was more red and white skin.
Yeah, they were naked with skins, the flesh showing. Yeah.
So kind of reminded me of some of the designs on the Titan things from Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it a
little bit.
I agree.
Which do you prefer, the old look or the new look? Or hard to say?
For the new franchise, I like the new look. It tries to distance it.
And that is also good. I think that was a wise decision.
But by preference, I prefer the old.
Me too. I enjoy the old school design on the Cenobites and all the leather and all that. But this was good. It looked really good.
Absolutely.
And there are a lot of Cenobites in this movie, and you meet them more and more throughout the. Like in the last act, we get to see a lot of Cenobites. And I thought, for the most part, they all looked really cool. Yeah. You have some of the old ones.
The Chatter
was here. But some of the other ones also that I kind of recognized. Like, this is supposed to be that one, but I can't remember.
Don't know the names. No,
don't know the names. They look very cool.
Absolutely.
And since we're on the design and all that, let's talk about the visuals and the style of the movie and everything. What did you think?
Okay, so visually, this is the best movie in the franchise.
There's no denying it.
No denying.
It looked amazing. Visually, it looks like it has a way higher budget than any other Hellraiser movie.
It's too bad that this went straight to Hulu.
I don't get that.
Just like Prey.
Yeah. We should have seen this in the cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree.
It's that's one of the big letdowns, actually.
I think if I'd watched this in the movies, in the cinema, it would have been even more like, wow.
Because that brings us also to the audio, the music. Like getting to watch this movie in the theaters with the visuals and the audio, that would be
amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
And the music was really good. The special effects looked to be a lot of practical effects. I mean, I'm sure there are CGI as well, but it looked really cool.
Yeah, like an old school horror movie. Like I've told you before, that's what I hate about today's horror movies is CGI.
Yeah.
It takes away the...
I didn't feel like that with this movie. I don't think it was just CGI. It looked like it was...
It was really good.
Really good effects. And the music was nice, the sounds were nice, everything, the atmosphere of the movie.
It was a long movie.
Yes, the runtime is almost 2 hours.
2 hours, 1 minute, I think.
It's over 2 hours.
Yeah, 1 minute.
1 minute.
Yeah, so... But for a Hellraiser movie, that's a long...
Is that the longest Hellraiser movie? Probably.
So. Yeah.
I didn't notice that it was 2 hours.
No,
I didn't feel
I think it's a good paced movie, so it doesn't feel like 2 hours.
Yeah, since we're on the runtime and we talked about the story, but did you find the characters in this one to be intriguing and interesting, and how did you feel about the characters?
I didn't care much for any of the characters except from Trevor and this rich guy.
Voight. They both of them kind of stole the show.
Yeah. But characters didn't steal much.
No, it's the Cenobites who steal the show.
Cenobites and
the box.
The box.
The box is the main character.
Yeah, you could
basically.
Basically. Yeah. And I've never been so interested in the box before, like I was with this movie. I
totally agree. So our main character, Riley, I mean, you're not supposed to completely like her, I guess, because she's problematic and a broken character, and she's an addict. And
they're supposed to deserve
getting sacrificed.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but you end up rooting for her in the end when
I didn't really care. I was actually rooting more for Voight. But I mean,
he gets his he gets his wish.
If I was gonna compare them kind of like side by side, the first Hellraiser movie, the story, the suspense, the character development with Frank and what's the wife's name? Julia or something, yeah. And the story of the first one, I would still say, is way better. Here, the story only serves one purpose, and that's to like get these people to the point of the movie where they all get killed.
Yeah.
I didn't care about any of them except for maybe Trevor and Voight.
Yeah.
And the story also was not that interesting as the original one and maybe the second one as well.
No. But if you... okay, there's 11 movies.
Yeah.
Where would you...
Where would I put this? In order? If I was going to say just like the best Hellraiser movies, number 1, number 2,
number 1 and 2, you should take.
I liked the first one better than the second one. I know a lot of people like the second one better, but I actually like the first one better.
They tend to, yeah.
But they're almost part of the same movie. They feel like one movie.
It's like one movie.
Yeah. So the first two, and I would have to put this next.
Yeah.
Because it's a very competent movie. It's very well made. It looks like it's not as cheesy or silly as all the other movies after that.
But still, there's a lot of guilty pleasures.
I mean, my favorite, except for the first, is without a doubt the third one.
Yeah, I agree with the CD guy and the camera.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
And
But that's where it gets kind of cheesy as well.
It does, but I would say it's not the point where the movies start to go end up becoming bad movies.
No.
That is after the third. The first three are cool. The first two really good. The third one is awesome, and then it's a downward.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would put this after the first and the second. I guess you probably would agree on that.
Yeah.
Very competent, good movie. And again, why it's such a shame that we couldn't see this in the cinema. So, yeah. What else do you want to talk about? What was the... we've talked about the Hell Priest. We've talked about Doug Bradley and in comparison. Anything else you would compare up against the original first movie? Like story-wise, this is a weaker movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a new movie, so visual effects, it's not even comparable. But even though I would say the first movie still holds up, looks good. Yeah. Anything you didn't like about this movie?
The characters.
What about the? You felt the pacing was good. And the last act, the ending. How did you like the ending of the movie?
The ending. I thought it had a good ending.
It's a bit like it was a bit different. This thing that where you have both of them get to choose something and they choose the exact opposite. Like Voight chooses power, and she chooses to distance herself from the whole thing entirely. And one of the themes of the movie is addiction. He was addicted or obsessed with figuring out the box, the power of what he would get if he managed to come to the sixth configuration. She just wanted to try. She was trying to save. Spoilers. We're way past that. Her brother gets killed, and for the most of the movie, she's trying to just get through these different configurations to get her wish, which is the lament configuration where she can bring him back.
No, that's the Lazarus configuration.
Lazarus configuration, sorry, to bring back her brother. But in the end, she realizes that it's kind of...
It's a trick.
It's a trick. It's like a casino. You're going to lose anyway. So she chooses to... She doesn't want anything from them.
Well, that was
interesting.
That was interesting because that was also like she finally beat her addiction.
Exactly, and he didn't. He delved deeper into his lust, desire, temptation, and addiction. Temptation is also one of the themes that always is a thing with movies. Like they find a box, they can't resist, even when they know they should get rid of the box. They end up giving into its temptation and of promises of power and all that stuff. And that is a reoccurring theme here. Now, the ending was cool, but how did you interpret what happened to Voight?
Well, his final wish was power. But it's like you said, it's a trick. So it's he doesn't get it the way he wanted it. So he becomes like.
What did he become? I don't know if that's
the way
clear.
I saw it is that he doesn't get power to do anything.
No,
per se, but he gets to be the overseer. So he
is that what happens?
I feel like he's the overseer of the. of the temptations. So that's his power. He gets to live everybody's temptations. Maybe.
And also, they don't completely specify that, so you could also interpret it as maybe he becomes one of them, and maybe he becomes a Cenobite, and the power that they talk about is the power they have as Cenobites. I mean, it's not completely clear.
No.
So,
it's very unclear.
Yeah, you can interpret it in different ways, I guess.
Yeah, if there's a sequel, maybe we'll
find out.
Maybe. But,
Yeah, okay, so...
Do you feel the temptation?
No, I would totally mess this up and get us both killed.
Yeah. So,
but before we continue, would you recommend this movie to our audience? Would you say it's worth watching?
If you love the Hellraiser movies and you're a big horror fan, absolutely.
Absolutely. Probably one of the best horror movies of 2022.
Absolutely.
Go watch it. You can't watch it in the cinema, but go watch it.
Yeah.
Still. Okay, I guess that sums it up.
Yeah.
Just gonna have some
You sure?
coffee. Okay, let me touch it. I just want to touch it a little bit.
Yeah.
Very nice. I didn't do anything. Oh my God!